to find a new option for lunch today after half a dozen fast food restaurants in Detroit closed.
All because workers didn't show up for the job and instead picked up picket signs.
Yeah, our BC Onlyeri joins us live now from Detroit with a look at what's all behind the protest. BC.
Ruth, hundreds of people just wrapped up a protest here at this McDonald's behind me on West Grand Boulevard in the Lodge, and they're demanding higher pay and better working conditions. It's a nationwide protest now reaching Detroit and digging into the bottom line of some of the biggest fast food chains in the world. Hundreds of workers walk off the job in protest of better pay. The walkouts force the closure of at least 6 fast food restaurants in Detroit, which includes this McDonald's on Gratiot and this Long John Silver's along 8 Mile Road. And hundreds protested outside this McDonald's near the Lodge and West Grand Boulevard.
I'm not happy with the fact that I'm only making $7.40 and I don't even make 40 hours a week, and I'm a married man and I have 2 kids. That's not enough for me to feed my family on.
The campaign is called D15. It calls for a wage increase of $15 and demand workers the right to form a union. It's a movement picking up steam.
Fast food and retail is the fastest growing.
Time now, 6:35. Happening now, if you're planning to grab a fast food breakfast this morning, you might have some trouble.
That's because local fast food workers have started the first of several protests planned for today. 7 Action News reporter Nima Shafei now joins us live from Detroit, where one protest has started. All right, Nima, what are these workers looking for?
Good morning, Vic. These folks, and good morning to all of you at home, these folks are asking for more money, and they're also asking to form a union without the interference of these business owners. And joining me now to tell us her story is Angela Terrell. Angela, you're one of the protesters out here this morning. Talk to me about how you got involved.
I got involved in this because it's time for a change. The minimum wage rate needs to go up. It's hard to support our families making $7.40.
This cause so important to you that you even called out today to be among some of your friends here. Talk to me about the forming of a union. The seriousness of this.
The forming of a union is to come together because I believe that these companies make billions of dollars, and it's time for a change to come together. So I feel like they have the money. They're just not paying the workers, and that's unfair. We work hard. We deserve it. It's hard out here.
This is just one of several protests this morning. How involved have you been with regards to this and getting the word out there that you guys are passionate about this, that you guys want more money?
I've been very involved. I've been working with D15, which is Detroit for $15 an hour, which is a group of different organizations for fast food workers.
Angela Terrell is just one of the many faces, guys, that you will see out here among the town joining us live this morning. Angela, thank you so very much for joining us on 7 Action News this morning. That is the very latest from Detroit's East Side. I'm Nima Shafei for 7 Action News.
We won't change! We talk about pennies! 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 We won't change! We talk about pennies!
Fast food workers were once again out protesting today in Detroit and across the country. They're demanding higher wages. Here in Detroit, the group calls itself the D15. Many of them work for the minimum wage at their jobs in fast food restaurants, but they say it's not enough to get by. They're demanding $15 an hour. That's more than twice the minimum.
And I want them to know that the myth that they're sending out that this is for high school students, this is for college students, is not a true statement. This is for mom and pop, mothers and fathers. This is for couples, senior citizens who are working here. And they need to understand that they depend on their checks and they depend on money to survive, to pay their house note, their gas, their lights, water, phone, etc.
We're tired of getting paid $7.40. We can't support our families off $7.40 a week. We need a union. That's what we're fighting for, $15 an hour and the right to form a union.
The protesters made stops at dozens of fast food restaurants all around the metro area today. This is part of a larger nationwide movement. Fast food workers have been marching in places like New York, Chicago, and St. Louis, as well as other cities.
Walking off the job in protest this morning. 7 Action News reporter Nima Shafei is joining us live with more on this. And Nima, what do these workers want?
Good morning, Alicia, and good morning to all of you at home. Good to be with you this morning. These workers just want more money, $15 an hour to be exact. They say that they just can't live off what they're making now. Let's take a live look. This is from Detroit's west side, mind you. This is at the McDonald's there off Woodward on Detroit's west side near Losser Road, and you can see there about 24 workers that have walked off the job, making their statement loud and proud and making it clear they will fight until the end. They are part of the D15 campaign. Those 24 or so workers will join hundreds of others later today throughout Metro Detroit and Flint as they walk off their jobs. They're part of 1,000 of others workers that are asking for a wage increase, and get this, again, to $15 an hour. They just say that they're not making enough money. Let's take a look at some photos, because this was from last night. These photos provided to Action News show dozens of workers that walked out on the job yesterday. Their message heard, their restaurant forced to shut down as a result of them walking off the job. It's no secret fast food and retail workers are part of a $200 billion industry, yet they are some of the lowest paying workers, making under $8 an hour. These workers you see in the photos there are part of the D15 campaign, a group made up of several hundred fast food workers from Metro Detroit and surrounding communities. And also, again, this morning we're hearing, as you just saw in those live photos from Woodward on Detroit's west side near Losser Road, those workers walking off the job, again, they are part of hundreds of others expected to do the same thing later today.
Let's get it going, y'all. Let's get the chant going. Hey, hey, ho, ho. 740's got to go. Hey, hey.
And they got to pay me more money because I've been working for 4 years and just haven't got a raise. And working off of 740 is just not enough money.
Flint historically has been the birthplace of union action, and right now Flint is really struggling economically, and these workers, they don't have any money to infuse into the economy because they get paid poverty wages.
Hey, ho, ho, 740's got to go. Hey, ho, ho, 740's got to go. Hey, ho, ho, 740's got to go.
I have been at Peace Up for 2.5 years, and I am the opening cook.
740's got to go.
From what we earn at 740, it's just below or maybe a little bit above $15,000 a year.
I went into a fast food restaurant and I saw a value meal that cost more than what they make an hour. So how is it possible that we can pay more for food than what the people are making that's preparing it?
I make $7.70. I've had 2 raises, I think at a dime. My hours have been cut.
With people making the wages that they're making, it's hard for them to make a good lifestyle for themselves, especially with the cost of living constantly going up. Gas is over $3 a gallon. Food costs have gone up, but the pay hasn't gone up. So how can they afford to live?
It's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. 740, it's got to go. 99%. We are 99%. We are 99%. We because no more slavery. 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 Come on, make some noise out here.
Leadership that workers in Detroit have shown the nation. Workers in Detroit had the most stores on strike. Yeah. You had the most people participating. Detroit is going to lead the nation in making it crystal clear that the 8 multinational corporations that earn $8.3 billion every year need to reinvest just a little bit of that profit back in the workers so we can get $15 an hour. And thanks to your courage, this is not just about a moral imperative, it is an economic imperative. When you stand up for each and every working person in this nation, because you are going to drive wages up again for everybody in this country.